Farmington gets set to host the Spartans of Summers High School. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mark Robbins. Welcome to our finale here in the spring season, our game of the week. And as we started our spring season with lacrosse, we finished with boys lacrosse. The same type of weather conditions that we started with in mid-April, and that is cold and rainy. It has stopped for the most part here at Farmington High School for the start of this one, but temperature about 50 or so degrees. A little bit chilly, despite the fact we're getting close to Memorial Day, but we are set to start off Summers in the red and in the white with the maroon, the home Riverhawks of Farmington High School. Walt Stefano's group now 9-6, lost a tough one 6-5 to Newington on Wednesday. Here comes Summers in the five-time state champions, the Class S number 2 ranked team right now in the state of Connecticut for Kenny McCarthy. His squad is 14-1. Only lost this season coming earlier to Conard of West Hartford. So here we go, and it is Farmington with the first opportunity with the offensive possession. As I mentioned, the Riverhawks coming off a tough loss, having to play twice in 48 hours after losing to Newington, and that was Luke Jengenbach, yes, the junior face-off man with the shot that was saved. And there's a quick shot and a goal quickly up the other side for Summers. Cole Delsky with a quick shot, and right away Summers quickly on the board, a 1-0 lead for this squad. The junior Delsky getting the first goal and a 1-0 lead. I mentioned Summers, Class S, ranked second in the class. They've won 5 state championships at the lowest level, class, division, but this is a very potent squad year in and year out for Ken McCarthy. And another opportunity off of the face-off, that shot going high and wide, but it stays with the possession of the Spartans. Harry Accorsi running things coming out of the X. We got a flag down, so it'll be a penalty coming up against Farmington, and running right off the field, maybe as I don't know if it's the guilty party. No, Alex Coots, the guilty party on defense for Farmington. So he'll come out, and there'll be a penalty, a man-up situation now for Summers, already with a 1-0 advantage. And Summers will work now. 6-on-5, and the behind the cage, the X-Man right there is Logan Rusbason. Chase Beggs as well playing the X. Now they'll switch it up. The high pass and the shot from the slot, and a score for Andrew Cardwell. He's heading to UHart next year. Andrew Cardwell with a tally and a quickly 2-0 lead for Summers. Mentioned 14-1 on the season. Had plenty of time to rest. Only game this week, I believe, and the final game of the regular season for the Spartans. They will go on and participate in the conference tournament next week. And off the face-off, it is won by Owen Smith. And now an opportunity, second real full opportunity on offense for the Riverhawks of Farmington. This is Emerson Stambaugh looking for room. Stambaugh pulling it back out. No shot clock in high school boys lacrosse, although there's a shot, and there's a growing thought that there will be get one on the national level very, very soon. But the shot and the save made in the cage for Summers, and quickly come the Spartans again. That is Delsky off the 1 foot. The save made. And they get it up ahead. Just getting onto the field to play at Cole Rostowski. There's Rostowski with it now. Guarded by the long pole of Lucas McClanahan. And now James Moravicek. Moravicek still with it. This is Logan Rosbason. They've got that long pole on him. Rosbason gets it away. Looks to be Zach Beck. Landon Carrier on the carry. We'll have to work on getting you the name of Farmington's number 26. Oh, and the shot right in front from Josh Larkin. Actually, no, that was Rostowski. It goes just wide, but Farmington able to keep possession. And we will work on getting you number 26, since there isn't one on the roster. Landon Carrier working behind the cage. He's got help. This is Larkin. Larkin fires, it goes wide, and it'll stay with the Riverhawks. Approaching 7 minutes to go, first quarter. Moravicek still with it now. Looking for a screen. They switch off. Here's Carrier. Bring it out to the top and reset. Two 2-0 lead for Summers here in the first quarter. And a shot goes wide, and who got to the back spot first? And it is Farmington, and it'll be Josh Larkin who will trigger it. Kind of the Swiss Army knife for this team. Plays all over. Started with a long pole in the midfield and then worked his way to an offensive attack position. That draws a flag, and we're going to have the first infraction against Summers. 6:21 to go here, first quarter. It's a 1 minute penalty on Liam Jones, a senior, going out for slashing. 1 minute penalty at 6:21. So a man up and two down on the scoreboard are the Riverhawks. And they will work their man advantage offense. Emerson Stambaugh up at the top here with it. Flip it to Rosbason. And now they swim over to Larkin. Chris passing for Farmington. Riverhawks looking for an opening. There's a diagonal pass. Solid job by that Summers defense. And the shot deflected by Stambaugh. His shot deflected wide. It'll stay with the Riverhawks. About 22 seconds and counting left on the penalty against Summers. And a shot and the save made by the goalkeeper for Summers. And that is the junior Evan Poulin, all-stater a year ago, up quickly into the offensive end. Boy, the Spartans move it up the field, and they have an opportunity and a shot and a goal. And that is Liam Grondin. Grondin with his first tally. Three different Spartans have scored, and it's a 3-0 lead for Summers. So the visitors at 14-1, getting off to an outstanding start here at Farmington High School. I'm Mark Robbins. Chris Perkins doing the audio-visual work for everybody today. Glad he's with us. Glad you're with us on the wax for our final spring game of the week. Of course, we'll take a little time off and come back with a full football schedule for you. A bouncer, the save made, the shot from Aiden Clarity. And the save made by the keeper for Farmington, Tyler McMahon. How about that? A freshman in goal, and he's been outstanding for this Farmington squad all season long. What pressure to put on a ninth grader at the varsity level. Coming into this game, 9-6, Farmington at number 8 in Class L. So this is, size-wise, you got the David versus Goliath as far as student population. Class S for Summers, a very small town, obviously, small high school population. In Farmington, much bigger school district, and in Class L. Up quickly, just running up the field. It was Grondin. He wants it again. He's up at the left point. He's begging for it, and he's got it back. They will swing it around. 4 minutes to go here, first quarter. On the dodge, firing wide is Cole Delsky. He had the first goal of this game. It's a 3-0 lead for Summers. Here come the Spartans. A low bouncer goes wide from Connor Warnock. He's just a sophomore. This is a lot of balance for this squad for Ken McCarthy. In fact, there are 5 players on this team with at least 50 points on the season. So an outstanding job of showing the firepower and the balance offensively. That ball gets loose, taken down by Warnock. He's still got it. Summers interchanging, running screens. Lefty shot and through the 5-hole for Andrew Cardwell, his second of the game. Cardwell heading to Uhart to play lacrosse at the Division III level next year. And he fires one home through the wickets. 4-0 Summers. 3:08 to go here in the first quarter. And off the face-off, coming away with it was Gengenbach. A couple of face-off men. We haven't seen Grondin in there yet. They will alternate. Another opportunity now for Summers. Under 3 to go. Here's Warnock. Oh, into the slot and a quick turn, missing. That's Harry Accorsi. He had 7 goals the other day against Avon. He's actually not one of the 5 with over 50 points on the season. He had 48 coming in. 7 goals in a game. That just shows you how much firepower and how balanced this squad from Summers is. So on the turnover, it's Farmington with possession. About 2.5 to go here, first quarter. So glad you're with us on the wax. Farmington struggling to get its offense into a flow. And the long pass will certainly help. They get it over to James Moravasek. Stambaugh. Going behind the cage in a way to kind of survey the situation. Knifing inside. Lost possession of it. Solid defense from Summers. And the long pull of Lucas McClanahan. clears everything. And now Summers with a minute 30 to go, up 4 and with possession. And they're going to take their time, other Spartans. Rain starting to pick up. Getting inside but paying the price. Cardwell hammered a couple times. Shot was off the mark. They're going to keep it in the possession of Summers. So this, of course, the rain that has been called for a week. Yesterday was the heavy, heavy stuff. Today, though, is expected frequent showers throughout the state. And that's what we're getting right now here at Farmington High School as the umbrellas have come up here on the home sidelines. And from what I understand, it's the final game for this press box and the bleachers here. You know, it's a brand new school building for Farmington, and they're going to add a brand new press box and some new bleachers for this beautiful facility. And Farmington comes away with it. Loose ball cleaned away. They're trying to get up front, and it's taken back by Summers. Evan Colton way up ahead. Chase Beggs could not hang on to it. Farmington avoids a one-on-one situation and comes back the other way with 30 seconds to go. And we've got a late flag. There was a check and a penalty, contact, and the penalty will go against Summers. 25 and a half seconds left here, first quarter. And it'll be a penalty against Summers. I think goes against Jonathan Breton. Here comes Farmington now. Oh, the shot wide. 14 and a half seconds to go. It looks like Farmington will have a little man up if the Riverhawks don't score here at the end of the quarter. They'll take that man up situation into the second quarter. And Farmington's just going to run out the first quarter. A dominated first quarter. Summers leads it 4-0 after one. Back on this, after this on the Wax. All right, second quarter about to begin here at Farmington High School, and we are underway. A 4-0 lead for Summers. Of course, everybody switches sides. Lacrosse after every quarter, just like football. And now the Riverhawks going to the goal to our left as you watch here on the Wax. So glad you're with us. And a turnover by Farmington. Again, Farmington playing its second game in the last 48 hours. Played a tough 6-5 game in which they lost to Newington, and just trying to secure the 8th seed in Class L to get a home game in the first round of the upcoming CIAC state playoffs. So a victory here would go a long way to securing that seed. Meanwhile, Summers at 14-1, Class S second-ranked team, and the shot wide. It'll stay with Summers. Liam Grondin had a goal in that first quarter. 2 goals for Andrew Cardwell, and 1 for Grondin and 1 for Delsky. And that's the 4 that are on the scoreboard, and Summers with a 4-0 advantage. Grondin fires high. But again, it'll stay with Summers. And if you're unfamiliar with the rules of lacrosse, on a shot like that, on a shot attempt, the team that is closest to the back line when the ball goes out maintains possession. So that's why you see both sides sprinting to get back there. And when the ball goes out, who's ever closer to it keeps or gets possession. On the cut, Grondin behind the back. That would have been a fancy goal. The junior Grondin slicing in the slot, threw one behind his back, but it went wide. Here's Delsky, had the first goal of this game. Here's Warnock trying to get some space. He's cut off. Nice job from the Riverhawks defense. But now getting inside and scoring. Chase Beggs, the big senior. They ran him in. A second player coming from behind that part of the cage. And Beggs picks up his first goal of the game. We talked about the firepower. 4 different goal scorers so far for Summers, and a 5-0 lead. And on the violation, it goes over to Summers. So winning another face-off. The Spartans are really in solid position now, as Grondin can't find his way in, but with possession, they're up 5-0. Summers leading it with 10 minutes left here in the first half. Cardwell, he's got 2 goals in this one so far. Corsi getting it up front and trying to chase it down, but it's taken away. Oh, and then nearly intercepted. Boy, Beggs was right there in the path of the pass back to the goalkeeper, but Tyler McMahon was able to grab it, the freshman. Again, such pressure on a freshman to play at the varsity level. Look at him, no pressure here, up the middle of the field. A tough pass that's run down. And a loose ball. Let's see who can get to it. They play the red line, as you can tell, as it's boxed off, and it will go over to Summers. Spinning his way into the offensive zone, Cole Delsky. Delsky switching to the left hand for a shot that goes over the cage. An errant pass gets by. Now that is deemed a pass. Oh, no, they're going to say it's tipped, though. It was a pass, but it was tipped out, last touched before going out of bounds by Farmington, and it stays with Summers. Tough break for the Riverhawks. Here's Grondin. Off the screen, Delsky Delsky shoots wide. And they call it a shot, and it stays as Warnock runs it down. Stays with Summers. Approaching 8 minutes to go here, second quarter. The high-low, then the low shot goes wide. Spartans retained possession. You can see the steady rain now as we go under 8 minutes in the first half. Delsky he was trying to load up on a big right-handed shot, but this one, top shelf, pretty goal, Harry Accorsi. How about Accorsi? I mentioned he had 7 goals in the game last week against Avon. He fired and hit the top right corner of the cage. A beautiful shot. 6-0 Summers. First goal of this game for Harry Accorsi. And giving up the face-off, Farmington will allow Summers again another opportunity. This game certainly been controlled by the Spartans, who then get a little sloppy and on the pass throw it out of bounds. I know. Ball out of bounds. It'll go over to Farmington. Rain still coming down. And a loose ball picked up. This is Accorsi. Scored moments ago, slips, contact, fires wide from the left side. But it'll stay with Summers. And coming in trying to just stuff one in was Connor Warnock, sophomore. Can't get it to go. Now, Summers for years has been a power in Class S and really been the perennial power in the northwest part of the state of Connecticut. This squad has developed a ton of players under Ken McCarthy that have gone on to play in college. And while you think of the power in Connecticut high school lacrosse to be down in Fairfield County, and it certainly is, there's an outstanding program in the northeast corner, and there's a goal. And was that Warnock? Connor Warnock? Yes, it is. His first goal, the sophomore, gets on the board. A 7-0 lead with 6.5 to go here in the first half. Summers leading it over Farmington. And off the face-off, another possession for the Spartans. They are starting to shred this Farmington defense a little bit, putting a lot of pressure on the Riverhawks. It's bound to take effect when you're playing so much on the defensive side. This field has been tilted toward the offensive end of Summers. On the move is Cardwell. On the dodge, he fires one wide. So we got 6 minutes left here, first half. Cardwell on the dodge. Save made. Scooped away. Nice job by Tyler McMahon. And an opportunity for the Riverhawks trying to get on the board. Josh Larkin on the dodge. Ooh, got hit in the helmet. There's the flag. So it'll be a man up once if Farmington cannot convert here. Farmington will keep possession. And there's the whistle. And on the penalty, one-minute penalty against Summers. Liam Jones, that inadvertent slash. So a man up now for Farmington. Second man up situation for the Riverhawks. Still looking to get on the board. A little less than 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Larkin spins it to the left side. They'll go back behind the cage now and reset. Coming out, a left-handed shot. The shot from Emerson Stambaugh, and save made by Evan Poulin. Now here comes Summers again. Still a man down. So it's 5-on-6, if you will. They'll run it out if best they can, and if they can't, look for an opportunity. Up 7-0. Cardwell inside and a low shot and a goal by Accorsi. Harry Accorsi, his second goal of this game. It's 8-0 Summers. Now, this Farmington club is a game club, but a one that is dealing with a ton of injuries. In fact, lost another player the other day, one of their best attackmen, one of their midfielders. Luke Wagner's been out with a broken arm. Tucker Lebrecht on the attack. He's injured as well. They hope to get him back for the CIAC state tournament. And they lost another player, I believe, the other day. So it's been a struggle the last couple of weeks for Farmington, but a talented squad that should be troublesome once the state tournament begins. But meanwhile, loose ball, and it is picked up by Ellis Pickett, and then he lost it. So Pickett lost it, all in a matter of a few seconds. Here we go as Delsky. Denied entry on the dodge. Get it back out to the point in the slot. Oh, a sneaky shot and a goal for Connor Warnock. Connor Warnock, the sophomore, going low and getting his second goal of this game. So with just under 3 minutes to go in the first half, it is now 9-0 for Summers. And the Spartans handling the face-off once again and gaining possession. And in just about a minute or so, we are going to be joined live by our WFSB News at 4 audience. So if I start repeating myself, you'll know why. That ball lost out of bounds. It'll be a turnover and possession to the Riverhawks of Farmington. So with about 2.5 to go, 9-0 to score. And a penalty. So man up for Farmington. So the man up begins. Larkin will start things. And a quick shot and a goal. There it is. Didn't take long. Logan Rusbason, the junior, on the attack with the first goal of the game for Farmington. Luke Rusbason makes it 9-1. Summers leading it here with about 2:18 to go in the first half. It has been a game dominated by Summers, but now Farmington on the board for the first time in this game. And winning the faceoff is Farmington. And the Riverhawks will look for two quick goals. Rusbason trying to find an opportunity. Dumps it off in a wide open shot. Nice save coming from Poulin in the cage for Summers. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Our final game of the week for the spring season. On the bouncer for Cardwell. Goes wide. Summers with possession, 1:40 to go. All right, swinging it around. That one deflected. They played that blue line, if you can distinguish the lines there. And it just stays there. We're approaching a minute to go. This is Beggs. He will take some time now and settle down as 50 seconds remain in the first half. Grondin, the lefty bouncer is good. Liam Grondin, his second goal of this game. And that makes it 10-1 for Summers. A dominating first half for the men in red, the Spartans of Summers. And they call the violation against Farmington. And now 42 seconds, 42.3 seconds. So an opportunity here. One more chance for, at least one more for Summers. Delsky drops it back behind for Cam Kadish. Sophomore's in now, playing the X spot behind that cage. Grondin, a little bit too high with it. The turnover gives Farmington 16 and a half seconds to see if it can score for the second time in this game. Get it up to Owen Smith. Down the middle, Smith gets hit. The shot and a save from Poulin, and that will wrap up the first half. A very impressive first half for Summers. The visitors have a lead of 10-1 here at the break. So we're going to go away with our halftime programming and come back in about 8 minutes or so, and then we will get you set for the start of the second half. So while they set up the halftime clock, see how much time they're going to put on that clock. They're going to put 10 minutes up. We'll take a quick break. Summers leads it 10-1 here at halftime as you watch the high school game of the week here on the Wax. Welcome back to halftime as it dwindles down here at Farmington High School. It is Summers leading 10-1 over Farmington in this, the final spring high school game of the week for F&F and the 2024-25 high school athletic season. Of course, postseason coming up for all the spring sports, beginning shortly. Conference tournaments will begin for some sports this weekend, and then the CIAC tournament will start, I believe, a week from Memorial Day Monday. Hope you're going to have a wonderful holiday weekend. Hope this rain gets out of here for the start of the long weekend on Saturday, and then Memorial Day, according to our weather folks, are supposed to be fantastic. So it's supposed to be getting better and better as the weekend goes on. That's encouraging news. And as we get set to start this third quarter, it is Summers, the number 2 ranked team in Class S in the state of Connecticut, leading at 10-1 over Farmington, the number 8 team right now in the Class L large school standings. And we have had 6 players score for Summers, 2 goals apiece for Andrew Cardwell, Harry Accorsi, Liam Grondin, and Connor Warnock. Also a goal for Cole Delsky and Chase Beggs. A couple of senior right there. Beggs getting a goal as well. So we will start this up again. It is 10-1. If you are unfamiliar with boys high school lacrosse scoring rules, there is a running clock rule that comes into effect once the goal differential becomes a dozen. So once we hit a 12-goal differential, the clock will then run unless a timeout is called, and it will run for the remainder of the game regardless of goals scored. Only a timeout will officially stop the clock if that should happen. But right now it's a 10-1 game, and here's Farmington with an opportunity. Larkin spinning, can't get that one to go. But the Riverhawks will maintain possession very early here, 14 seconds in to the third quarter. I'm Mark Robbins. So glad you're with us here on the Wax. This is Emerson Stanberg, and he set it up to fire it back there, and it'll stay with the Riverhawks. Landon Carrier. By the way, Chris Perkins doing the AV work and a fine job, and we are so thrilled to be inside the press box here at Farmington High School. Stambach with the shot and a nice save from Evan Poulin. I got him for 3 saves now in the goal for Summers. And picking up the loose ball and on the sprint, Aiden Clarity. Looking for some clarity as the raindrops continue to fall. And Summers now working around. Again, no shot clock in boys high school lacrosse. Delsky will get it now. Checking in. Logan Fritz, a sophomore. He's got it. Not anymore. Taken away. The ground ball to Mike Campagnano. Campagnano flying up the field. And he will look for some help as the defense, they try to zero in on him as Fritz, who lost possession with some checking, but Campagnano does a nice job to maintain possession. Approaching 10 minutes left as Owen Smith has it for Farmington. Third quarter. Screen set. Go inside the screen. Rose Basin, the lone goal scorer for Farmington in this one. And a marker out, flag down. It'll be a penalty against Summers. If Farmington maintains its possession, will maintain it, either score or lose possession. And there's the loss of possession on the interception. And there'll be a penalty. A cross check against Cody Marks, the senior. So it's a man up for a minute. Farmington with it. And working it around with a man-up advantage. But the Summers defense comes away with a turnover, and they get it to Poulin, and they will stretch it out. Delsky on the move. Splits the defenders into the offensive zone. Delsky thought about it. He loaded up but then released it out to Grondin, and the junior pulling it back out. Penalty winding downs. Right now it's 5-on-6. A short-handed opportunity, if you will, for Summers. Loose ball. Accorsi, lefty shot, and a goal. Harry Accorsi with his third goal of this game. And an 11-1 lead for the Spartans of Summers with 8.5 to go, third quarter. And a battle in the face-off circle, and it's taken away. Winning it is Owen Smith. And a costly turnover. We'll give the ball back to Summers. A 10-goal lead for the visiting Spartans. Ooh. And the flag comes out as the hook on Rusbasin. Well, it's a man up after this possession for Summers, unless a goal, of course, scored. It's really been a steady rain since about halfway through the first quarter. Now behind the cage, trying to get a screen from Cardwell. Grondin fires, shot, and a goal. Connor Warnock going bowling with a grounder to make it 12-1. And now we are getting precariously close to that running clock situation. That happens in boys high school lacrosse when the deficit becomes 12. And unlike football, when you get ahead 35 points, it can be stopped if the trailing team scores. This clock will not stop on a goal from the trailing team if it gets to be a dozen. In fact, in theory, the losing team could come all the way back and win, and the clock would not stop except for timeouts. Now, of course, it makes it extremely difficult when you're down 12 and the clock doesn't stop, but let's see what happens. And right now, Summers had that opportunity, lost possession, and here come the Riverhawks. Cole Rostowski on the dodge. He's looking for a little bit of help. He'll get some relief behind the cage at Landon Carrier. Under 7.5 left here in the third quarter. Larkin weaving his way in, and Poulin reaches out and snags it. He gets it up ahead. Here's an opportunity on the break. Warnock had that shot deflected. Solid defense from Alex Kutz. Possession remains with Summers. Warnock behind the cage. Shot blocked out in front and taken away by the long pole of Kutz. Here comes Alex Kutz. Look at the speed and the control. Kutz to Carrier. Breaking it back out is Jengenbach. Jengenbach thought about it, and he'll pass it up. Campagnano. Taking it behind the cage as we approach 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Coming up from behind, Poulin right there. Seventh save for Poulin. He's been outstanding in the cage as Evan Poulin. And now some pressures to get it back to Poulin. He'll look deep. Finds an open man. An opportunity to get that clock started for Summers. Or keep it going. This is Grondin. Grondin, the lefty, pushed in the back. Finds a Corsi out front. And a solid save, the freshman, McMahon. A stone wall there. Up the field, Liam Morrell. Slicing Larkin. I don't know, what do you call 5 guys on one? Well, trouble for the one, that's what you call it. And he managed to maintain possession. That was a quintuple team. And a shot, there's another save. Poulin stopping Emerson Stambaugh's driving. Here we go. Up the other end, spinning inside. The fake pass, lefty shot from Andrew Cardwell goes high and wide. Delsky started the scoring. Cardwell bumped, tough bouncing shot, goes over the net. Approaching the 4-minute mark left here in the third quarter. Sneaking his way inside on the dive. The shot goes. That is Connor Warnock, his third goal. And that makes it 13-1, the 12-goal advantage, and the clock should start. The clock should keep rolling once the face-off starts. All right, so just to alert our crew back at WFSB Channel 3, so this game is going to pick up a little bit of speed since the clock will not stop now, and it's 5:02 Eastern Time. So we will be done before 5:30, just to let you know. Delsky on the dodge. He shoots and scores. A left-handed bullet from Cole Delsky, his second of the game. And it's 14-1, Summers on top. So as we wind down the third quarter, the Summers with a solid, really a dominating performance against Farmington. And proof once again just how explosive this Spartans offense is and how solid the defensive squad Summers has as well. Both ends of the field have been controlled by Summers today. And if you're in Class S, if you're in that division for the upcoming state tournament, get ready when you want to battle Summers. Don't let the location fool you. This squad is simply outstanding. And even though it's a long way from Fairfield County, they play a great brand of high school lacrosse. And Farmington, if it can get a little bit healthier, should be a bear to handle come state tournament time in a week and a half in Class L. And they will run it back out. I don't think Summers is going to be in a quick hurry to score. As we approach a minute 10 left, third quarter. Well, there's somebody in front, a shot, and another goal. And that's Beggs. That is Chase Beggs with his second goal. A 15-2 lead for Summers. Under 1 minute to play here in the third quarter. Well, under 30 seconds to go here in the third. And Summers, Corsi, couldn't get that one to go. The save made, and 5 seconds to go. And the shot goes wide. That'll wrap up the third quarter. Summers with a 15-1 lead on Farmington. We'll take a break, come back with our fourth quarter right after this. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Wax. All right, fourth quarter now underway with a 15-1 lead for Summers in red, and the Spartans look to pick up the ball after that draw, and Delsky will bring it back out. So 15-1 our score, and again, if you're just tuning in, it's been a dominating performance by Summers, the number 2 ranked team in Class S in the state of Connecticut, getting set to try and get back to the state championship game lost a year ago in the state final to New Fairfield. We'll try once again to get back there. 5-time state champs are the Spartans of Summers. And meanwhile, Farmington, a injury-depleted group at this point, but still trying to get some players back and make a run in Class L. Right now ranked 8th in Class L and trying to secure a home game for the first round of the state tournament. It's 15-1, and again in high school boys lacrosse, once the lead reaches a dozen, the clock starts and only stops for a timeout, an official or team called timeout. Not a goal, not a ball out of bounds, just an official timeout, not a penalty. They just have to call for a timeout. So that's why if you're looking at the clock, you see it run continuously now. Continuously like the rain has been since midway through the first quarter. A little harder at times, but fairly steady throughout here at Farmington High School. Farmington with its opportunity here. Trying to spin inside. Pop it back out to Stambaugh. His shot deflected. Stambaugh can't control it, and it's going to go out. So Summers will regain possession. Oh, somebody has a broken stick. I believe it's one of the Summers players. I think it might be Andrew Cardwell. He's going to be disappointed because Caldwell with a couple of goals in this game with that stick. Yep. He's holding 2 halves of his shorty. Delsky on the spin. A Delsky-Spinsky. Golski. How about that? 16-1. Cole Delsky with a pretty move. And the lead becomes 15. Again, the conference tournaments for these schools will be next week, and then a week from this Memorial Day Monday, it'll be the start of the CIAC state tournament for spring sports. It'll be a 2-week tournament for the spring sports. And track and field will run its class state championships and then get together for the open state championship. Of course, that's hosted by New Britain High School at Veterans Stadium in New Britain. And then, of course, the top 6, I think, in every category in the state open get an invitation to the New England Regional High School state regional meet, not state meet, regional meet. And so if you're in the top 6 in the open, you go to compete at the New Englands, and that's where you get the best of the 6th. How about Poulin again? Another save. He has been sensational today, and they get it out. And a little bit of a break. I want to give some love to the long pole, Liam Jones, but he can't corral it. So Farmington will take it back as we are under 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Quite the performance from the Spartans of Summers. We'll have highlights of this one coming up for you tonight on Channel 3 at 11:15, F&F. Myself, Joe Zone. Dan Booth is back, and we're anxious to have Dan back with us as we will host that 15-minute show. Highlights of this game and post-game reaction as well, and highlights and post-game from games all around the state, and also a lot of college play as Russ Basin comes around from the backside but shoots wide. A lot of college baseball conference tournament play. UConn in the Big East elimination game today against Xavier. Winner moves on to the final. And loser goes home from Mason, Ohio, where they're hosting the Big East tournament. Fairfield has advanced in the MAC. Sacred Heart is still alive in the MAC, so is Quinnipiac. Both of those schools are playing again later today, weather permitting, of course. Central Connecticut, weather permitting, supposed to play in its first game of the Northeast Conference tournament in Wappinger Falls, New York. So we'll have an update on the baseball as well. And there's a shot and a goal. That is Stamberg, Emerson Stambaugh with the goal, the lefty shot. And a 16-2 game as Stambaugh finds the back of the cage. His first goal of this game. Under 5 minutes to go. Now Farmington with this loss will fall to 9-7, finishing up its 16-game regular season. 15-1 will be the record after this one for the Spartans of Summers. And both have been outstanding. And they will get ready now for the postseason. And of course, I mentioned 11:15 tonight on Channel 3 for our F&F show. We have tonight, next week, and then one more. So we have 3 more, including tonight, for the 2024-25 athletic season in high schools in Connecticut, the CIAC schools. And boy, it's been fun to be with you all year long. Of course, we'll still cover sports during the summer. And how about Russ Basin with his second goal from straight away? Logan Russ Basin with his second goal. It is 16-3. Summers on top. And that clock continues to run. So we'll have 3 more, including tonight, F&F shows for you. Of course, then we'll get ready for the Travelers Championship, which will be the week after the state finals on the 13th and 14th of June of the state finals, and 15th for girls lacrosse on Father's Day. And then we will have the start of Travelers Week on Monday, June 16th, with play beginning on the 19th. But, of course, our coverage on Channel 3 will begin on Monday the 16th, and then starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 18th, 19th, and 20th, we will have a Travelers special on WFSB and right here on the Wax as well at 7 o'clock. Joe Zone, Aaron Connolly, myself, Dan Booth, and others will be swarming the TPC River Highlands to provide you with all the full coverage of the Travelers Championship and elevated event. All the big names on the PGA Tour will be here and be in Cromwell at the TPC course. Of course, Scotty Scheffler, the world number one, the defending Travelers champ. He just won the PGA a week ago. He will be here. Rory McIlroy will be here. All the big names on the PGA Tour. Accorsi picking up the goal. Harry Accorsi. And that is 5 for the junior. What a performance for Harry Accorsi in this one. 5 goals, 5 of the 17, as it's a 17-3 lead. We've got a little more than a minute remaining. And then we will get going and prepare for our Friday Night Frenzy show. And the final minute goes on here. And with about a half a minute or so to go, Owen Smith brings it into the Farmington offensive end. I believe there'll be a JV game here coming up momentarily. That will not be part of our game of the week, but we are so thankful for everybody here at Farmington High School for setting us up nicely and making sure the press box was nice and covered for us. We appreciate that. In the final seconds tick away, and Summers with the victory. A 17-3 win for Summers to go 16-1 on the season. What a performance from Summers. You're going to see the Spartans in the state tournament. You're going to see Farmington in there as well as they try to get healthy and make a run toward a state championship. It's been a lot of fun to be here at Farmington High School with you on our final game of the week here on the Wax for the spring season. So for my partner, Mr. Perkins, Chris Perkins, on the audio and visual efforts today, I thank him so much. Ian Pettigrew is with me so many times during the season as well, and all the great crew back at WFSB Channel 3. I'm Mark Robbins. Hope you have a great summer, everybody. Don't forget to tune into the Frenzy tonight and for much of June, and then, of course, all summer long, watch Channel 3. Until next time, 17-3. Congratulations to Summers winning it today over Farmington. Until the fall and football season, so long, everybody.
stories, and no one covers them like Local News Live.